start this match in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the second match, potentially of 2, potentially of 3 for these teams. If the Red Alliance wins this match, they will move on to the finals, but the Blue Alliance absolutely does not want that to happen, and they're showing it off right now with this autonomous where we have both of the blocks placed in there, and they're going for additional. This is why these teams are in the semifinals. You can see the Red Alliance, why they won that first match. It is just the sheer amount of autonomous scoring that they are capable of doing. I'm already seeing like nearly 7, yes, 8 pieces of cargo, 9 pieces of cargo just in this autonomous period. That's giving the Red Alliance is going to come out of this with a substantial lead because it's allowed them to get that head being ahead during that area. But now we're into the actual driver control period here, where we have 12928 scoring in the primary ship controller, and technical difficulties is doing what they've been doing best this entire day, which is just picking up and scoring in that shared shipping hub. They are so good at it. You have to watch them go. And also you've got, of course, 6165M Psychoto Fish with that suspension system going over towards that Blue Alliance upper level goal. It's absolutely incredible what they're capable of doing here. And we've got 14270 Quantum Robotics scoring in their shared shipping hub. And there's going to be some defensive play between the two of them. Just like we saw in this first match, this is going to be a heavy defense game with technical difficulties and Quantum Robotics going head-to-head over this shared shipping hub. There's going to be a lot of tussling, and that's where you see these robots are not only designed to score as quickly as possible, but withstand attacks or defensive play from other robots being pushed around, being hit around, and not losing their cool. It is not only a test of the robot itself, it's a test of the drivers being able to maintain their cool in this high-pressure situation and make sure that they continue scoring, just like you can see here with this team over here. Lightsaber scoring. They've filled up the top of their scoring area entirely. We are running low on pieces of cargo to pick up in the warehouse areas. Quantum Robotics getting called for pinning, but if they hold on to it, it would maybe run into a penalty, but it doesn't look so. We've got 35 seconds left in the match with the Red Alliance having a substantial lead of nearly 100 points. That could change, though, in this end game, where we've got 1928 attempting to pick up a totem, pick up one of their markers, and landed on top of their thing. Wow, both teams are running their duck rotations, getting the carousels and running off the carousels. Truly, I don't know if we're going to be able to see any of these markers being scored in this final area, unfortunately, because it looks like a lot of them got knocked over during play, but we still have a substantial scoring, nearly completely filled scoring areas at the end as we end our second semifinal match with a lead on the scoreboard for the Red Alliance. Remember, these scores can change over time.
All right, we're going to kick it back over to Tyler and Abbas for yet another great comprehensive review of match number 2, semifinal 1.
Well, here we go. Match number 2, semifinal number 1. Interesting play going in here. We saw some more defense. We saw more collisions happen. But a lot of great play up, boss. Take us what it went into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing we can talk about is the Red Alliance. They decided not to run their Alliance captain this match. Very interesting choice. I mean, looking at the preliminary scores, you would say it is the right one. The Blue Alliance definitely went with the more traditional choice of running their captain and then their second pick. And I think the simple fact in this match is that Blue didn't play any defense. Red just outcycled them, right? You saw 15-12 on the Alliance hub and then 15-7 on that shared hub. Lightsabers and technical difficulties, they weren't messed with. They just got to run free on the field and just outcycled them, plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into the replay. Tell me a little bit more about a couple key points that you saw in this match.
Yeah, I think what's important is endgame. We saw that Cuttlefish again tried to use their tape measure mechanism to get those team scoring elements on the top of the Alliance hubs, but they just weren't able to. It looks like there was an issue with their tape measure once again. Similarly, Lightsaders tried to use their tape measure to score those TSEs on top of the Alliance hub, but neither robot was able to get them. But it's all right, you know, if no robot gets the TSEs, it's net zero. Doesn't really change the outcome of the match. Another thing I keep finding interesting in these playoffs, the team that's typically playing in the back, like in the shared hub, they always try to block the other Alliance from parking, and it's been super effective. I mean, looking at the field right now, technical difficulties, they were able to stop MSET Cuttlefish from a complete park and possibly stop Quantum from a park at all. Yeah.
So looking at in the future, it looks like now we're going to have a Red Alliance victory. We haven't gotten the results yet. So if you're looking at Red Alliance going into the finals, any suggestions for the Alliance, any improvements that you might see?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game's really going to be decided in auto. We'll have to see how technical difficulties autonomous pairs up against Kooky Bots or Wolfpack Machina, or, you know, if the Red Alliance wins again. I mean, we saw some huge scores out of Delta Force and all of their partners. I think the biggest thing is just going to be try to make sure that endgame is as consistent as possible, because we keep losing a ton of points to those tape measure mechanisms.
Semifinal 2, match number 2 coming up here. Red is up 1-0. What's your prediction for this match?
If we don't see any defense and Absoltech perform similarly to Delta Force, I see another Red win.
Well, Twitch, if you're watching here in chat, we will have predictions up so you can predict which alliance you think is going to win. You can use your fun bucks for that as well, too. Or, of course, if you're here in the studio audience, you can as well. But we're going to check to see if we got scores ready yet. Doesn't look like quite ready. So one of the other things I want to mention, too, is looking into semifinal 2, match number 2. What are you looking for between these two alliances? Like, who needs to improve where and
Yeah,
what?
I think Robo Avatars is really the team that needs to step up here. Wolfpack Machina, even though they're so versatile, I think what's really important is that if they're not being defended against, or like they're not using, like, their suspension is only useful when they have to counteract another team or something like that. Robo Avatars, on the other hand, they can fit through that gap. They're used to just running cycle after cycle. It looks like they fill up that Alliance hub almost every match they play. If they can do that again, that's exactly what Kooky Bots and the rest of the Alliance needs.
Well, here's the question in regards to who's being played and the differences on that as well, too. Does that actually change the strategy, do you think, from the Alliance, or are the robots all pretty much compatible with each other?
Yeah, I think everybody's compatible. Last time, everybody just played their own match. I think they'll do it again this time.
Well, we do have scores coming up for semifinal 1, match number 2. Let's see if we have our first finalist or if we're going to see a third match. Let's send it back over the field.
All right, we're going to be posting these scores. Remember, the Red Alliance won match number 1. Let's see what the results are from match 2. Red wins match number 2 for a score of 312. The Blue Alliance is 247. What does that mean to us? Alliance number 1 is now going to move on to the finals. Congratulations, however, to the Blue Alliance and their performance.
This stream is supported by First Updates Now, who would like to thank the following fun sponsors. First Updates Now is supported by Stryker Careers. If you are a college student or recent graduate looking for an incredible internship, take a look at Stryker. Stryker provides a housing stipend, great pay, and an opportunity to work with state-of-the-art medical technology equipment. Discover why so many First alumni are coming to Stryker for their internship or career at careers.stryker.com. First Updates Now is supported by Kettering University. Did you know that over 30% of the student population at Kettering University was in high school robotics? These same students have received a portion of over $7 million in robotics scholarships from Kettering University. See why so many in First chose to go to Kettering University at kettering.edu.